Okay, we are back at it with our Hippo, and let's keep climbing the rating ladder using the Hippo and going with the Owens to start things off. And Yahtzee, we will take the free stuff if you give it to us. Now, we want to watch out for these aggressive attempts like bishop c4. I'm going to go e6 just to cover the f7 square. And this is the typical type of structure you get when you're starting out in chess. So it's what I expected to see most often, like where we concluded the last video. All right, d6 looks pretty good. And the thing is, a lot of the time they run out of ideas and then they end up pushing in the center and you get the lock. So it makes the planning phase quite easy. I would say probably we should have a relatively easy time playing these positions up until the point where we reach maybe 1800 to 2000 range, and then the players have working knowledge of how to play against, a purely defensive opening like the Hippo. Well, calling it defensive seems like it's diminishing. The Hippo is dangerous, so I would say it's a counterattacking opening. It's probably the safer thing to say. My opponent's loading up here. Knight takes f7, king takes f7, queen takes e6. Looks pretty nasty. So if I start with d5 here, seems like it's an option. Queen e7, knight takes f7, looks okay. Queen e7, knight takes e6, pawn takes e6, bishop takes e6. d5, knight takes e6. We'll write it out with queen e7 here. Want to watch out for these nasty moves. Lots of aggression here. All right. Now we're at critical mass, which is not good. Feel like giving myself an out would be wise. But I don't know that I have the time. So, rough position for us here. Huh. Pawn takes, knight takes. Discoveries galore. So, looks like we're getting outplayed here by our opponent. Let's see if we can't make something out of it. Didn't expect that. Now we just have to play fast. That's the only thing we potentially have here is fast. So there's going to be a multitude of mediocre moves here. But we'll definitely take a look at this one as we allowed our opponent a bit too much comfort for his pawn, and he had a winning position out of the opening here. Okay, let's not lose the queen. And we are back in it. I don't know, probably taking with the bishop is better. I worry about ideas like c4. our opponent falters. Played a fantastic opening, and it's a shame that couldn't put us away. So he deserved it. Gotta defend. All right, that'll do it for this one. And let's see what went wrong for me here, because something went bad wrong. As I'm able to grab the pawn. So it likes d5 immediately, which does make some sense. It blunts the bishop with tempo, with time. So we should break with our Hippo structure. And I guess we could come back to it here. e6, knight d7. So, noted. I was completely busted after g6 here, because d5 is just too much, as bishop b5 check followed by bishop takes e5 is devastation. So you can't just mindlessly do as I was doing, developing pieces. There's a lot of danger here on e6. So bishop e7 covers g5. There's no knight g5. Sometimes you're going to need to break the structure. In this case, we're up a pawn, so it is completely okay. But g6 is game losing. And then here, I have to go bishop h6 to cover the g5 square, as well as f7. And I would have been completely fine had I found bishop h6. But wanting to go with the structure, queen f6. Queen f6 makes a lot more sense, hitting the bishop and... So you get an extra move, but queen e7 is asking for it, where bishop takes e6. I had looked at this, but I had forgotten that it just loses. So this is busted. And the best I could do in this situation was castles, trying to trick my opponent. And I was planning on trying to play as fast as humanly possible after knight a6 here, but this position is, of course, absolutely dead lost. So, heartbreaker for the opponent as knight takes d5, and I went from flailing to winning. And it does happen, but I am learning as well when playing the Hippo, because it's not an opening that I play. So hopefully we're highlighting some key ideas. And let's go on and play one more in this set, because clearly I thought it was going to be around 1800 when I started having issues. Clearly 1000 might just be the tipping point. And I don't like the idea of that pawn coming all the way down. He may be stopping our Hippo, as I don't want to encourage that move. So let's do some of our other moves in the meantime. And it looks like we've got a sacker on our hands. Maybe not. All right, we'll go h4. That way there's no h-pawn thrust. And there seems to be a huge variance in skill in the 1000-ish range in Lee chess, which I find interesting. The last guy was murdering me. And then this one really likes the g8 knight, like more so than I like the g8 knight in an Alekhine. So kind of interesting, as we've gotten relatively safe Hippo. And you know what? Let's tempo the knight one more time, as we're up time by quite a lot. His king is still stuck in the center, so let's get after it. And rook e1 followed by knight f4. Looks pretty good. Pressure, pressure. I expect bishop g4. All right, we will ruin the pawn structure, making for easy targets. And let's go here to hit g6, as we can prepare to double up rooks or play bishop h3, and didn't defend the pawn. And again, I will take the free stuff without hesitation. All right, let's keep the lady there. That's a threat. The knight moves, we take on e6, and I'm okay with this life. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Knight e4 is a good move. We'll just defend f2. And bishop's covering though. Was doing okay with counterplay until right then. Put the king on a light square, no dark square nonsense. The end. Don't trade when you are down. Talked about that principle before. King e2 was met by d3. Wanted to see if we couldn't get the two bishops mate. I kind of still want to do the two bishops mate. Oh, bishop's not going to work if you got two of the same color, Brian. And I've got it set to auto queen anyway, so we'll just... Oh, I don't. Okay. How can we do this? Oh, man. I was like, okay, I need the queen a pawn there. That's what I was thinking. So, yeah, a3, b4, walk the king over, get the pawn, and then get the bishop. But gotta have a little bit of fun every now and then. All right, we'll take a quick look at this one. So our opponent was doing okay, and this move could be annoying because g3 could be met by h4. So you might just want to go, I mean, if he goes h4 here, I'll just play h3, not worry about g3, and then we'll find another square for the bishop, probably on e2. So we'll just e3, bishop e2. So don't be afraid to interrupt the plan. Just focus on your development and get a game. And probably h4 immediately. You could do like I did to stop the h-pawn expansion. And didn't like that. And we trade down a bit. This gets an attacking position. And where did I drop some of the eval? Didn't hate that. Yeah, and then the unnecessary trade. Here, again, when you're down material, try to keep tension, keep pressure if you can. Trading it down makes it easier for your opponent, and the rest of it is pretty straightforward. All right, on to the next video.